Dear future officers, welcome to the session. Welcome to Aura IAS. Today we'll discuss this year 2025 ethics paper. Not only that, we'll compare this paper with the last year paper. The present trend, what is the trend happening? So here one point before I start the class, let me reiterate. This time I'm expecting like 150 or 160 marks from my students. Most of the questions were from my class notes and from the things which we predicted. That's one thing, and even the question paper was pretty easy. In my opinion, it is one of the easiest question papers. So here, in addition, one more point, it's not just about PYQs. Based on the PYQs, you should be in a position to predict the future year questions. PYQs just reveal the mindset of the question paper setter. Based on that, you have to predict and you have to prepare for those questions. Say, for example, if you have predicted 10 questions, even 3 comes, you will be the topper. Even 3 questions comes as you have predicted, definitely you will be the topper. That is the one thing which you should be doing. So here to begin with, generally, this is the structure of the PYQs. You will be having 12 questions. Section A, 6 questions. Section B, 6 questions. You are aware of that. So after that, in section A, you will be having total 13 questions. Means each question will be having 2 questions. There, specifically question number 3 will be having 3 questions. So it will be 13. And with respect to the section B, you will be having 6 questions. In that, sub questions all included, there will be 19 or 20 questions. So mean to say that you will be answering minimum 32 questions, one of the highest among all the GS paper. So this will be the format. 1, 2, 3. Third question will be always, generally, will be with respect to moral thinkers and philosophers, where we will be having 3 questions. Then each question will be carrying 10 marks. Coming to the case studies, we'll be having 6 questions, each carrying 20 marks. So this is the general format which you have to keep in mind. Then PYQ analysis. Here I will be comparing 22 PYQs and the present year PYQs, and based on that, we'll try to tune with the question paper setter mindset, and we'll guess what might be the future year questions and what we should be studying. Like before that, let me just announce you that we are going to have a specialized ethics batch from 27th. So it will be tailored to see that you get more than 150. I'm pretty confident that this time my students, many of my students will be getting more than 150. I'm expecting even 160 plus also. Because as I said, if you have predicted and if those question comes, definitely that will be game changer. If you predict 10, just 3 or 4 comes means you will be first rank. Not only that, we are coming up with essay and also polity model, specialized model for those who are interested. So getting back to the class. So here in 2024, there were 6 questions, 13, and B, section B, 20 questions. Total 33, that was previous year's format. One thing which was very striking in 2024 civil service ethics paper was that even if you read all the books, even if you cover all the topics in the theory, you won't be in a position to cover 90 or 80% of the questions. I'll show you the questions also. Even if you cover all the topics, even if you read all the books, you won't be in a position to answer nearly 80% of section A questions. Then you may ask me, sir, what should be read? That I'll be discussing. See, these are the questions which were there. Please concentrate just on the topic which they have asked. In 2024, they have used artificial intelligence and they have linked to decision making. Artificial intelligence, how in decision making? In that specifically, administrative decision making. In that once again, rational decision making. Next, they have added dimensions of ethics, which will be there in chapter number 1, dimensions of ethics, and how this will help in decision making, especially ethical decision making. So what is the inference is, in a question, you'll be having two sub-questions. These two sub-questions will be related to one another. So here, this question is mainly about decision making. Please note this point. Every year, you will be having a question on decision making. This is the one thing which is not explicitly mentioned in any of the chapters. So first you will be having ethics, attitude, aptitude, all these things. Nowhere they have mentioned decision making, but you are getting questions. Decision making, in that ethical decision making, rational decision making, minimum 10 times this question has come. So you should be aware and you should have prepared for that. Next, with respect to, we were having 2024 conflicts, Russia, Ukraine, direct question. So how that has to be stopped? Then they are asking global warming and climate change, how that has to be put an end. This is nowhere in the syllabus. So what is the basis for this? Current happening. That too, they are not asking like all the current affairs, burning issues. If you can just pinpoint, like if you have come up with some 10 major areas, all the questions will be there. Then next they have asked about Swami Vivekananda, the quote by Vivekananda, Sardar Patel and Immanuel Kant. So he's the only administrative, like moral thinker whom we will be studying. Just and unjust, the concept they have, they are saying that it is contextual. What is the meaning? Which is just in one context may become unjust. That is the meaning. Then mindless addiction to form and ignoring the substance of the matter results in rendering the injustice. So it simply says that following a law in letter, not following the spirit of the law. So what is the meaning? So in civil service code of ethics, you have got like anyone, whether he is a boy or girl, they are supposed to marry only one spouse. So everybody is following that, following only one man or woman. But you are following that, but you may be having immoral relations. Means you are following in letter, not the spirit. So that is the meaning of this. Then Bharatiya Nyaya Samiti. So direct question which was expected. Then gender specific challenges faced by female public servants. So now go home and see from where all these things have come. Nowhere, no book has given these things, but these are pretty simple. You can guess. So what will be the basis? That we'll be discussing later. This is about 24. Please give these things in mind. Okay. Then coming to the 25 one. Here the same pattern, but in section B there was only like reduction of a one question. Instead of 20, there were only 19 questions. Okay. So why more number of questions? Why no more number of questions are asked in ethics? Generally GS 1 to 3, you will be having 20. Here why 30, 35 questions? The reason is, if you are given more time, your cognitive mind, your logical mind will come into play. That we don't want. Mental predisposition, your attitude should come. So that is the reason. If you, yes, so it is based on, so intentionally they have reduced the time. So what is the way out? You should be prepared for the question at home. Your thoughts, your opinion should be crystal clear. So that's the one thing take away. Now coming to the 2025. See here too, none of the questions, like if not like 2024, none of the questions are directly related, but somehow in a way they are related to civil service, public administration and governance. So here social media, ethical dilemma. This will be discussing. Social media has like enormously benefited us, especially in communication. And what are the ethical dilemmas? Constitutional morality. This is a question which has appeared 5 times. Not only here, please note this one, constitutional morality. Next year also it will come. 5 times it has already appeared, like 3 times in ethics, I suppose, in 2 times in GS2, 5 times in UPSC. See, we were having war. War is a diplomacy by other means. So there are means of diplomacy. War is a other means of diplomacy. It's simply saying that, like those who are powerful, they have got the say. So here, this is the, in present context, You shouldn't always agree to what they have said. You should say like war should be the last resort. Okay. So here next, national security, they are connected to environmental clearance and border areas. This was specially in connection with some of the environmental projects, some of the development projects we were taking up along the China border, Myanmar border, these things. Next, with respect to thinkers, Tiruvallur, James, Swami Vivekananda again. Then coming to the fun, implementation of welfare scheme. Civil service must use is reason and critical thinking. Next, teaching of Mahavira. So here, please give due attention. Implementation of welfare scheme. Civil servant must use his reason and critical thinking. How far do you agree with this one? So here, like most of the students, they go wrong. Yes, sir, you have to use critical thinking. You have to use that. You have to use this. It is not the complete answer. Who is a civil servant? Is an executive. What has to be done already been said by the legislature. Your political executive, his only work is to implement. That is his main work. Definitely there has to be critical thinking, there has to be reasoning. But these are all not the major things. So your answer should be balanced. Say for example, you become an IAS officer, IPS officer. You shouldn't use your own like things, because already their set of rules and regulations are there. Bureaucracy itself means following rules and regulations. Next, again related to civil service, one who is devoted to one's duty attains the highest perfection in life. So if you are doing your duty, so you are a student, what is your duty? Studying perfect. So think, one day you have read 10 hours, 15 hours. Won't you feel happy? Won't you feel perfect? The same here with respect to civil servant. Have you experienced this joy? Reading good. You should feel that in the whole India, I have read very good today. Among all the aspirants, I have read highest. So apart from that, civil servant who does his duty diligently, this is directly with respect to the chapter number 3, dedication to public service. Right? Next, civil servant has an enabler and active facilitator of the growth rather than regulator. Think it over. Relate this to governance, relate this to government. Liberalization, privatization, connect to this. I repeat, civil servant has to be an enabler and active facilitator of growth, not regulator. Like how you relate? Before 1990, government was doing this regulation work. Things have suffered. Public sector undertaking have gone down. They are loss making. So now what is the work of government? Enabler and facilitator. Who is the face of government? Public administration, civil servant. So civil servant also should be doing this. Clear? So because civil service is the one who is doing the work of government. Government is doing the work of state. Clear? Okay. Now coming to the ethical work culture which you have in your syllabus, what suitable measures would you adopt? Simple direct question. What specific measures would you recommend for ensuring accountability to stop leakages in the programs? So this is there in accountability chapter. So here this time most of the questions can be predicted and they are from chapter number 3, aptitude and foundational values, chapter number 6, ethics in public administration and governance. Direct questions here. So can you like correlate 2024 paper with this one? This is the way you have to go through. In my opinion, if you cover all the syllabus, if you read all the books in ethics, you may be hardly answering like 20 to 30% of the questions. But PYQs are the gold mines. You should be mastering those things. All these things have repeated. So now what you should this time 2025. So 50% related to civil service, public administration, governance, and 50% related to burning topics. That's it. So now what you should be doing? So we'll be providing this PPT, all the things what I teach, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be noting. You should be just noting keywords. keywords, that will be enough. Okay. So these are the things. Then case studies. So case studies, here once again I repeat, syllabus and PYQs are very, very important. With respect to ethics, PYQs are very, very important than your syllabus. So here totally we have got some 81 case studies. Just to master these case studies, you can solve any case study. I repeat, just master this. There is no need to do any gimmicks. In that, very important, once again I stress upon one important thing. In 2012, sample case studies were given. Those are very, very important, not only with respect to case studies, even in theory. So 2012, we were not having exams, sample case studies were given. Those are also important. Every year you will be having like 6. So 6 into 13, 78. So 81 case studies, just have a fair idea, repeated. There is no need, like I often see people solving that institution case study, this institution case study. My dear students, please don't do that. They simply take up some passage and they put the questions they want. You shouldn't be doing that. These case studies are based on research, national level, highest, apex, zenith. So you should be using only this logic. Not only here, a point that has struck to in my mind. While solving like passages in CSAT. So here one important thing is UPSC answer key for passages is entirely different from normal passages answer key. I repeat, you are having passages in CSAT. So their UPSC answer key is entirely different. If you are not reading and if you are not in line with that, definitely you will be thinking in the other way and you will be putting the things wrong. Is my point clear to you? So in CSAT also, first internalize only the passages given by UPSC. In my opinion, no need for any other. Because the way of answering, the tuning is entirely different there. You have to acclimatize to that way of thinking, that way of answer. So here case studies are important. Among all the 13-year case studies, 2013 case studies, so like 2023 case studies were little different. Other than that, almost all are same except 2023. This is the analysis after going through all the case studies from 2013. So from 2013 to 22, almost all 80% used to be repeated, one current related, one little different. That was the pattern. But in 2023, like almost there was no repetition. But they were simple, direct, based on the day-to-day issues and social specific issues. Once again, 2014, the things once again got into repetition, simple, specific, almost repetition, and they asked about AI and environment. Okay. Then 2025. So here, nearly 90% of the case studies have repeated. Directly, if you have solved the previous year questions, directly you can answer this. Here, why I'm stressing this is, you won't be having time. If you have not solved this variety questions, then it is difficult for you to answer. This time they have asked, like military has taken over the neighboring country. So in which country this has happened? Rebels have taken over Myanmar. So Burma. So militants have taken some of the places. So that case study they have asked. So here, current issue, burning issue, important issue they are asking. So this is the whole of analysis. So now coming to the case studies. Case study number 7. So simple case study. What is there? There is a person who is working. Lot of devastation has happened. Her mother has died. The two, they are very clever. They have put this person in the north, means Jammu Kashmir. His home is in Kerala. And that too, no other male, only one sister. She is staying in America. No relatives. So what we will do? So here the thing is, like I'll discuss that. Then deforestation and social justice. So deforestation and social justice. Did we discuss this? environment, social justice. In essay, we discuss. So things are repeating once again. So another case study, Subhash is a secretary. So here he knows where the project will be, everything. His son is a real estate business. So he want to know the exact location. Think, you are a secretary. Your son, only son, that too not 5, 6. He has only one son, is in real estate business. You want to know where the construction really happens. Not only that, you are a secretary, above you there will be a political executive. The minister's nephew is also into this contract business. So what you will do? So here he has added one dimension extra. This was not present in any PYQs. In all the PYQs, there is to be only one dimension. Like you are the secretary, minister will be forcing or something like that. Or you are a secretary, your son will be forcing. But this time there are two people, one within the family and one within the in your organization. Then Rajesh is a group 1 officer. He wants promotion. So promotion will be based on the things which his senior recommends, their approval, all these things. ACRs, they will be writing. So here his boss wants to buy some stationaries. So his boss wants Rajesh to buy some stationaries from one person. So if he buys the stationaries, he will get the promotion. If not, he will be. So is this difficult? No, this has already been repeated. Next, MGNRGA. In this, already the program is going on. Your predecessor has misused the program in 7 items. They have given the 7 items also. So what you will be doing? So these are pretty simple. And the last is you are a divisional commissioner of border district in Northeast. Military has taken over the neighboring country. So Myanmar. So bordering Northeast, this is the real fact, in fact, current issue. So here there are some 200 people, especially women and children. They are trying, they want to cross the border, and also there are 10 soldiers. This has really happened. Soldiers of Myanmar, they wanted to come to India because they lost everything. So at this time, what you will be doing? So these are the questions which have been asked. So here the most important thing is for you is to guess the future year questions based on these questions. Ethics is one paper where there is huge repetition of questions. So that we should be doing. So now we'll take up one case study and also questions, and we'll discuss as to how you should be writing. Okay. So based on the PYQs, FIQs, what you should be doing. So what you should be doing? So for that, this is the one. So if at all, if you want to take one important thing from this class, most important thing is this one. So there is preamble for the syllabus. It simply says that this question paper is testing your attitude and approach. With respect to what? Issues relating to public life. And also problem solving, most important. In every question, there is a problem, you should be solving that. With respect to issues faced by an individual in society. So here, in addition, you should be having current burning issue. So this is what is there in the syllabus itself. This is the major area from which the questions are coming, not from the 7 chapters what you read. This is the most important thing which you have to keep in mind, and this is the one, this is the guiding principles on which you should prepare. So coming to the case studies, just go through these case studies. Let me just read out for you. Vijay was deputy commissioner of remote district of hilly northern state of the country for the last 2 years. So it is in the northernmost. Here very important, while reading the question paper, you have to concentrate on the facts which are given. So why they have given for the last 2 years? The reason is he is having well-versed idea about that area. It is not a fresher. So for the last 2 years he has been there, means he knows the in and out. And he is the most appropriate person to deal with the situation. In the month of August, heavy rains lashed the complete state, followed by cloudburst in the upper reaches of the said district. The damage was very heavy in the complete state, especially the affected districts. The complete road network, telecom communications were disrupted and the buildings were damaged extensively. People's house have been destroyed and they were forced to stay in open. Means almost like there is a huge. So here the question paper setter want to convey the thing that the things are very bad, unbelievably livable, not at all possible. See, 200 people have been killed and about 500 badly injured, and most of the people are staying outside. So these are just, in my opinion, like trap to express the gravity of the situation. And temporary shelters, camps, hospitals have been established to provide shelter and medical facility to the homeless and injured people. Helicopter services were pressed in for evacuating sick and old people from the remote areas. So why they have set temporary shelter? Means there is no complete solution has not been brought. Only temporary solution has been brought in. So then Vijay got a message from his hometown in Kerala that his mother was seriously sick. See, he did not go then. Though he got that his mother was seriously ill. After 2 days, Vijay received the unfortunate message that his mother has expired. So Vijay's mother has expired. Vijay has no close relatives. If he had close relatives, he can get the things done. That is one fact. So you should be keeping in mind all the facts which they have provided, except one elderly sister who was US citizen, not just staying in US citizen, and staying there for last several years. In the meantime, the situation in the affected district, so his mother has passed away. At the same time, situation in the district has deteriorated further due to resumption of heavy rains after the gap of 5 days. Right? At the same time, continuous messages are coming on his mobile from his hometown to reach at the earliest for performing the last rites of his mother. So here, what should Vijay be doing? Should Vijay be taking care of his mother last rituals or the people? What is your opinion? Okay. Yes. So this is like directly repeated question. Previously, we had a question. A civil service aspirant like you cleared all the stages. You are going to interview. On the way to interview, you saw some of your relatives being hurt, mother and child. You are going to UPSC interview and you see that your relatives are hurt. They have met with an accident. So what you will do? Don't you think there is a similarity between these two? So here the thing is, most of the students do this wrong thing. Many say that, sir, we can write UPSC exam next year. Life is important. We have to save. No, that is not the thing required. You should be a person who will be doing both. You have to go to interview. At the same time, you can save. Here too, the thing is, you have to do both the things. Then only you are a problem solver. Then only you are fit for civil service. Is the point clear to you? You cannot say that no, mother has already died, so there is no way going there. What is the use? Let me save the people's life here. That should not be the one. Similarly, when you are in service, you will be having 4 or 5 problems at a time. You should be solving all the problems. So here comes the next one question. What are the options available? What are the options available? Think it over. So those who are online, just think it over. Take your time. What are the options available? Just jot down. Think. No need to write. Just in your minds, what are the options available? Take 1 minute. No need to answer. Just jot down what are the options available. If you are getting even one option extra than what I say, then definitely I say that you will be a good problem solver and you will be getting good marks. So what are the options available? What are the ethical dilemmas? Dilemma means when there is a conflict between values, standards, or anything. Then evaluate and examine the options which is the most appropriate. This is one of the standard question format asked in most of the questions like this. You have to even by heart the question format. See what this is the one. I think more than 15 questions. You go home and check. Out of the 78 questions given till date in civil service ethics paper, this is a paper in which like 15 questions same format. What are the options? What are the dilemmas? What are the pros and cons of all the options? And what is the most appropriate? So here, other than that, normally there will be two options, right? One going home, another not going home, two options. So here, one important thing is what are the options available? Here you should be writing as many options as possible. Why? I repeat, in the options available, if you write maximum number of options, whether good or bad, you will be getting maximum marks. Why? The reason is this is a paper for testing your decision making, problem solving. A better problem solver is one who has got more options. Say, for example, you got a trouble. You have got only three options. You are finding only three options. Think that other person for the same problem he is finding 20 options. So you can just pick the one. So what is the problem? What are the alternatives? Which is the best? This is the typical form of problem solving decision making. What is the problem? What are the alternatives? And which is the best course of action? That is the one they have asked. Right? So what are the ways? Like I will give you the options itself. So because many are there in online, they may not be hearing. One is going to Kerala and another is staying there itself. These are the two options. Second, middle path. You are been there for last 2 years. So delegate that work to someone. Temporarily go. Now you have got all the facilities. Going flight 4 hours, going flight coming 4 hours. Then what may be the other one? What might be the other one which you can think of? Nowadays you are having virtual darshanas also. Why can't you have virtual cremation? Things like that. Any other thing you can think of? Mother has already died, is in service. You can take the help of government of Kerala. They can preserve the body of mother, right? For some time. They are keeping for 10, 15, even sometimes 1 month. That can be done. In 5 or 6 days, you will set the everything, delegate it to his junior. Then he can fly away. So any other thing? So here use all the things which are given here. So here his sister, she is in US. You can ask her to come. Now it's a matter of just 24 hours or one day they can come. So he has got no close relatives. There will be relatives, right? There may not be close. Then other than this, then you will be having friends also. You can ask your friends to take care of the situation. Afterwards, you will be just coming and going. So these are the ways in which you should be thinking. So here, like to put these things in a simple diagram kind of things. So here, like through video call, see the mother's face first, immediate. At least you will get some satisfaction to do the work. So how his mother is happening, something like that. And call the relatives, friends in Kerala, and also take the help of government to manage the situation, request the sister to fly back. And after everything is done, you can just fly to Kerala, like Delhi, like from even from Jammu Kashmir, in my opinion, like 4 hours, you can fly back to Kerala. Perform the things, you can go back. So this is one. So coming to the dilemmas and the options available, leave immediately. So what happens if you leave immediately? Compromises public interest. Why? Because he has been there for 2 years. He knows the in and out. So he cannot leave immediately. Stay fully. What happens if he stays fully? Emotional trauma. That really will be haunting thing. Somehow, not only here, sometimes happens. Say, for example, maybe your brother, sister, or your like parents. You quarrel. Sometimes you blame them. If they are If you are very powerful, you may beat them also. Afterwards, you may feel guilty. Arey, main kya kiya? So that will be there, and that may be of negative impact. Leave after delegation. So set everything. Mother has expired. Take 1 day, 2 day, set the things, delegate and go. So balancing duties and it's practical. Seek government support, like friend support. Ask the sister to come back. So it will be cumbersome. It may take time. So these things. Then virtual ritual. So virtual ritual, it's innovative, things like that. Will it have that emotional thing? Your mother, who has served you all these days, for a last ritual, you did not go. Virtual, either say, oh, pranam, hoga kya? Last. We often have this one. Whomsoever may be, when they die, at least we have to visit. Here, the mother has died. So here, emotionally, it won't be that good. So what is these are the options available. What is the best course? Leave after delegation. So do you feel this virtual ritual, is it good? He may do that, but it will haunt him forever. He won't be in a position to do the things further there. You won't be having satisfaction. Okay. So the same thing here. Stay back and manage the disaster relief. So postpone personal travel until situation stabilizes. So this shows that integrity but ignores personal values if he stays back. On the other hand, living immediately to Kerala. So that shows like he is not committed to public service. So this is the evolving the things. So I'm like mixing the two answers here itself. Then delegating the works after a thorough examination of the things to his subordinate. Say for example, I am teaching. Suddenly I got some work. So in place of me, deputing someone. Then special arrangement, flying back and like performing just the last rituals and perform the last ritual virtually, preserve the body for few days. So this also can be a good solution. Preserving, you can wait for 3-4 days, nothing will happen. Afterwards, going back. So ethical dilemmas is simple: personal duty and official duty, and personal values and public values, utilitarianism and deontology. So here utilitarianism simply says greatest good of greatest number, and deontology says do your duties. In this respect, duty to family, duty to mother. So here these are in conflict. So you just have to mention, see, these are the things which you cannot write. So among the things what I have provided, just like 20 to 30% are the things which you can write, and you should be writing those things. But if I say only those things, you won't be having holistic picture. So I am explaining the things in little detail. Okay. Then most appropriate, as we discussed, temporary leave, not once for all. After delegate the things, after doing all these things, and this is in line with the second ARC recommendations and most of the committee's recommendations, and it is in line with the public service values. So here very important, please make note of this one. The most important thing which you have to keep in ethics paper, the terms which are there in chapter number 3, aptitude and foundational values. I just say that you use the term given here: integrity, impartiality, non-partisanship, dedication to public service, empathy, compassion. I repeat: integrity, impartiality, non-partisanship, objectivity, dedication to public service, empathy, compassion, and tolerance for weaker sections. These are the word which you should be using. If you use this word, you will be having highest marks. So what I expect is, like you have heard, try to write the answer and show to me so that we'll see. And what I say is, now this is not the time for writing the things in a time bound way. In examination hall, definitely you have to write. But here, your creativity has to come. So don't keep time as the constraint here. Okay, coming to the section A question. Present digital age, social media has revolutionized our way of communication and interaction. However, it has raised several ethical issues and challenges. Describe the key ethical dimensions in this regard. So here, how you have to approach. So this is like just 150 words. You should be touching social media, how it is benefiting communication, but you shouldn't be writing stories. I repeat, the main one is this one: ethical dilemmas in this regard. That is the one which you have to address. But you should be just touching in one or two lines how social media has revolutionized the way you are communicating and interacting. So, how social media has revolutionized the way you communicate? Okay. So, online people, what is the way? So here, just introduce with this and directly come to the ethical dilemmas. So here, for your information, like how social media has influenced instant global connectivity in seconds. We are not having this. If at all, if we want to call someone in US, there was something like trunk call, things like that when we were calling. Now just a WhatsApp call. Next, two-way interaction. Previously, that used to be one way. I was there in Navodaya. My parents used to write letters. Is it two-way communication? One way. They have to write the letter, I have to receive afterwards. So, two-way communication. Then, multimedia sharing, video, live streaming, everything. They are possible now, previously not possible. Then, platform for social movement, activism, awareness. So these are the things, in fact, now driving the even the laws, the judgments, everything. So to put them in simple word, instant connectivity, two-way interaction, access to all, diverse platform, information expansion, personal branding and voice. See here, it's not just about celebrities. If you want, you can take a camera and you can create your own space. Previously, it was not available. Nowadays, even like big channels, big news agencies, they are beyond podcasters. In newspaper, you are seeing in a podcast that celebrity said like this. They're not coming to the news agencies. Standard papers like Times of India, Hindu, or anyone, they're taking references of social medias, podcasts done somewhere. So many, they have gone beyond the usual way of communicating, visual and multimedia communication and community building. So these are the things in general, how it has revolutionized. So here, this should be just one or two line. So here, like in my opinion, this will suffice. So ये सब लिखने का जरूरत नहीं है. So please don't write this in the examination. You should be just writing maximum this shifted communication, which is slow, limited, and one directional to fast, interactive, global, transforming both personal and social interactions. So this is the only thing which you should be writing. Then ethical dilemmas. Most of you may not be having like has to what are these dilemmas? Dilemma is a situation where you have to take the decision. If there is no compulsion of taking the decision, no dilemma. And there is no perfect solution. So here, conflict between two values, principles, or anything is said to be ethical dilemma, right? So social media improves connectivity but creates ethical conflict between freedom and responsibility. So in social media, you can tell whatever you want, you can do whatever you want, but responsibility like hate speech, privacy and profit, and openness and safety. So the same thing I have explained here. So with respect to freedom of expression and responsibility. So here people can speak frankly. But what about hate speech, fake news? So here, what is the line that you can draw? So people should be given freedom to speak whatever they want, but they have got the responsibility. So here you might have seen Like you might have not experienced, but generally celebrities experience this. There'll be huge messages. They'll be having fake accounts. They'll pour messages, whatever they want. So here dilemma is with this. And privacy and business interest. So platform collect user data from ads and profit. Dilemma protecting privacy or maximizing revenue. So all the things, say for example, if you go to any store, within 1 or 2 minutes, you will get a message, or all your social media feeds will be around that. So here, privacy and business interest, transparency and algorithm manipulation. We say that some things go viral. Why? This is because of algorithm manipulation. What is this algorithm manipulation is? They keep the algorithm in such a way that they show only what they want. Say for example, you might have uploaded a video in YouTube, but nobody sees your videos because it is not available. So algorithms are created in such a way that sensational news are spread, or they want to spread the things only which they want. So here transparency should be there with respect to how the algorithm works. Public good versus individual harm. So dilemma has to how to balance openness with the protection. Then global reach with cultural sensitivity. Now recently, like K-pop, Korean culture is influencing nowadays. We have not heard of these people. So now, whether to keep the Korean culture, Korean ways, or our own, or the global. So which is the one which I have to keep in democratic debate or political manipulation? So here, these are some of the things. And what is the way forward? This is the one which you have to keep in mind. So for that, as I said, you should be ready with the things. So social media, after having written all these things, you have to give conclusion. In fact, that is not conclusion, that is a way forward. So how to manage this one? Legal framework, IT rules 2021. Just implement firmly. Then data privacy protection, Digital Personal Data Protection Act, implement that. So if you are aware of this, write this. Otherwise, laws in this regard should be implemented. Then content modernization with balance. Use AI plus human moderators to find out the fake news, hate speech, things like that. Algorithm transparency. Say for example, YouTube, Twitter, there should be transparency as to how this algorithm works. Say YouTube, why you are getting this message? Why you are getting, say for example, when you type IAS classes, what appears there? What is the basis? That should be transparent. Nobody has made transparent because that is their business secret. So now YouTube has to say that what is the algorithm they are using, why you are getting the things which you are getting. Twitter has to say this. So algorithm transparency should be there. And the other thing is you should be having like empowered with digital literacy, including cyber ethics. Then self-regulation by the platform themselves, not involving in corrupt practices, and they self-regulating the things. International cooperation very much required. This is the era of globalization. And promote positive use, highlighting the digital well-being, not into like not making the people addicted to some of the content there. So here, like whenever you get time, people like blindlessly will be scrolling. Not only you, not only me, everyone. We often like will be scolding small children. అరే వీడు మొబైల్ ఇవ్వలేదంటే తినట్లేదు. Have you heard these things? So we just blame them. But including me, including you, not only that, even old age people, they are into this. So here there should be a balanced thing. So this is the way in this, just 10 to 20% you should be writing. So what is the one thing? Just introduce the by saying the meaning of the question and the things. Afterwards, get into the ethical dilemmas. Way forward is the most important thing. Okay. So these are the two questions which I have picked from case studies and another from theory. So other question we'll discuss elaborately. Before that, what I request is go through those questions and have an imagination. When I discuss those questions, you should be having like more ideas than what I teach. See, this is a ground where we all have equal things. You use the same books, I use the same books, you use the same chat GPT, I use the same chat GPT. So here, how many of you are using chat GPT? Always, my humble request, use as much as possible. Please use. This is the like secret. Everyone should use chat GPT. Everyone should use AI. Until and unless you learn this is this age new innovation. It was not available to the whole humanity. So madam, so I request you, please use ChatGPT as much as possible, yourself also, not now and then, for most of the things. So this is it for today. We'll be having ethics course. Not only that, we'll be having ethics and essay and polity model. Those of you who are interested, you can come. Okay. Thank you. Have a great day. We'll discuss the other questions later in depth.